Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. So today, we are going to be tasting a mixed bag of wine. I've got 4 wines and I'm really going to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. What I'm looking to do today is I've got 4 wines that I kind of needed to taste for different reasons, whether they're business or for making a decision for a party. So I figured, let me kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Let me do a mixed bag episode on WLTV, wide variety of wines, kind of 4 different, body characteristic wines, and I figured, why not do that? So that's what we're going to do today. Other than that, before I get into the tasting, I want to thank everybody for the kind emails about the journal over the weekend. It was really nice, and that's been great. I also want to apologize because I know there's a lot of questions being asked, and I'm not able to tackle all of them on WLTV. I've got a couple that I'm going to tackle today, but more importantly, once again, my email is open to you. Just click email Gary at above, and if you really want a question answered, just zap me, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible, considering the amount of emails I get. Also, don't forget, you can put it right in the comments section, and hopefully somebody from the community will answer your question. So, enough with the house cleaning. Let's get into the wines. Wine numero uno is the Cora Bay 2004 Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. I am just a huge fan of New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs, as you know, even though the last time we had some on, they didn't go so great. Let's see what the Cora Bay is showing. This is about $11 a bottle. Really light color, nothing too crazy. Wow. And this is really where these New Zealand wines just take it to the next level. Huge nose. This is really, really nice. A lot of grapefruit. Also spiciness, like a wasabi nose. It's really obvious grapefruit wasabi mixed with something that you're not going to think sounds great, but it's a very classic New Zealand terminology. This smells like cat piss. Now, I know you probably just made a face and you probably think I'm up to my shenanigans with my weird different descriptions, but this is a common term used on New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs. You can look them up on any ratings out there. And this one obviously is coming with it. Also has a lot of grass, but wasabi, grass, cat piss, it's a nice blend. This is quite nice. Very refreshing, a lot of aromatics on the nose, then comes with a solid mid-palate, long finish, very crisp, very clean. Big wine, huge mouthful, well worth $11. Seek this wine out. Go to your local shops, ask for this, order on the wine lists. Cora Bay 2004 Sauvignon Blanc, winner. I would go even as close to 90 points on this. Yeah, this is sensational. Very nice. Let's move on. Chalk Hill, 2002 Chardonnay. Chalk Hill is a legendary Chardonnay producer. Gonna give it a little rinse here. From California. I've been a big fan of their wines. This is the 2002, so it's got a little age behind it, which is quite nice. A little half bottle, fun for restaurants. Very oaky and buttery on the nose. Probably too much for the anti-California Chardonnay lovers out there. A little bit of too much acidity on the finish. Nice creaminess, nice solid wine. 90-point Spectator scored wine, about $23. It's a solid Chardonnay, don't get me wrong. Hints of apricot, little hazelnut, a little bit of peach on the finish as well. Nice acidity on the finish. I don't know, just a little off balanced. For me, the acidity pops a little bit, a little harsh at points, but a well-made wine. I don't know if I'm going to scream out and recommend it, but Chalk Hill is a wine you'll see in a lot of restaurant lists, and it's out there, and it's definitely an adequate bottle of Chardonnay. It delivers for the price point, and I would seek it out, to try it out. It's a little too oaky and buttery for some people out there, so if you know you're prone to not liking the oak butter aspects of Chardonnay, you should definitely pass on this. Otherwise, it's a solid effort. Very smoky, toasted butter popcorn nose. Speaking of popcorn, yesterday I saw Little Miss Sunshine. You have to go check out this movie if you haven't seen it. It was excellent. You cry, you laugh. It's like, WLTV. Let's move on. Chateau Souverain, 2002, California Cabernet. I've had 4 separate Wine Library TV fans email me and tell me I should try this wine. So that's the reason this one's in the batch today. I'm excited. A lot of people are hot on this. Souverain always makes great wines. Has received 90-point scores for its basic Cabernet effort before, which is amazing considering this wine's about $18. I think when it got a 90, it was like 12. Real good producer. Classic cherry, cocoa, dark wood flavors on the nose. Little hint of mint as well, which is nice. I'm all for mints. Pretty austere, little black fruit, but very thin and hollow on the mid palate. The finish is disappearing. Here come the ugly personal emails. I'm going to pass on this wine. I got hyped up on it by several emails, but I really don't see it, guys. I don't see what you're seeing. I don't find it as silky smooth as some of the comments were. The mid palate is not to be seen or heard of. Mid palate is that transition flavor from the first flavor you have to the flavor really that you finish with. And then going to the finished flavor, I find it very dry, not that much flavor, and very basic California Cabernet flavors. Wines that you pay $12 for and can get this flavor profile. I'm going to give this an overwhelming pass actually, and say 84, 85 points, which in that price range of $20 I think is very low. And I this is going to be funny. I apologize to those who wanted me to taste it. Can't wait to get home tonight and see those. Anyway, let's move on. Clomimi, 2004, Paso Robles Syrah. Very small producer of high quality Syrah, especially their high end. This is their entry level, little redhead. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Wow. Huge nose. I mean, just like massive nose. Like candied cherry, lots of fruit. Wow. Licorice. Almost like a grapey grape flavor. I know that sounds silly. Black jam, currant. Even like orange peel, which is unusual in a red wine. Really impressive nose. Wow. $15, buy cases of this. This is unbelievably, wow. This is unbelievably well made for a $15 bottle of Syrah. It actually tastes more like a $30 to $40 Hermitage red from the Rhone that has, some steroids in it. Just a little bit more fruit, a little bit more complexity than you would expect from the north of Rhone. But I'm just completely blown away by the complexity of this wine. I'm just stunned by the finish. This is a home run. This wine is pretty widely available, so definitely seek it out. You have to. I'm shocked. I did not expect this quality, and for $15, this may be one of the best price-valued wines we've had on WLTV. Great effort by Clomimi. Congratulations. Amazing. Really great. Considering that this way, I'm sorry, but this is what makes wine so interesting. This is $3 a bottle more, and it's 1/10 the wine. That's the funny thing. All right, questions of the day. Goal says, G-O-L, goal. Gary, how do you clean your wine glasses? Large stems are difficult to hand clean. Obviously, a dishwasher is bad news. Do you use soap, salt, baking soda, or just hot water? What do you do? Goal. I'm a hot water guy. I keep it real basic. Hot water, on the shelf. Probably not the best thing of all time. That's what I do. I know a lot of people use, salt a lot. Other people do use the dishwasher, but they break them. It's a tricky thing. The stemware is a tricky thing. I really wish that Riedel would make their stemware a little bit more sturdy. So if you're watching this, anybody from Riedel, please make the glasses a little more sturdy. I love selling more glassware in the shop, but I feel bad when people come in every other week buying another set because they broke some. So I'm a hot water guy. Let's see what some of the other people are out there. Saf Sam says, Gary, how come wines like BB George Latour, Maryville Profile, Justin Isosceles, Mondavi Reserve, Chateau St. Jean Cinq Cepage, Viator, there are many examples of this, etc., 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 can't seem to get back to the quality of their heyday? I realize the mid-90s to 97 provided some great growing seasons, but I find that these wines are just not up to what they used to be, and they cost a lot more money than they used to. Why can't the winemakers make better wine? I would like to think that they could continue to produce high levels, or even equal or exceed previous vintages. What a concept. But, to me, it doesn't seem so. You can even see this reflected in the wine scores. Cinq Cepage and Viator used to be 96, 97 scores in the late 90s. Now they're lucky to even hit 92. Saf Sam. Phenomenal question. Let's break this up in several different parts. Wines get sexy. There's always the it girl in Hollywood. Well, there's always the it wine in wine. Always. And Cinq Cepage and Viator especially had their moments in the sun, being top 3, 4 wines of the year from Wine Spectator, which is great. It's a great top 100 list every year. It's a lot of fun. But really, that puts wines on the map. Cinq Cepage being wine of the year one year, and it went crazy. It went from like $30 to $100. That's business. That's business that Cinq Cepage thought was smart business, and I really don't disagree. I understand supply and demand. So, scores, let's tackle that first, are so subjective, and there's, trends and what's hot and what's not. So let's just throw that out, because scores, again, we've got a lot of things with scores that we have issues with. Quality, I think, comes in a couple different places. Numero uno, your palate has changed. And as your palate changes, wines that you used to think were really solid, and I love to think of Silver Oak, and I'm not bashing Silver Oak, but people love Silver Oak when they first get into wine, and later on always ask me, what did Silver Oak do? Why did they change their formula? Well, meanwhile, when they loved it, somebody was saying the same thing to me. It's kind of the palate education that you go through. California Cabernets tend to, have a similar style profile, which is great. I love that. But they're in the same realm. And sometimes your palate is looking for other things. And especially if you've only drank cabs, like a lot of people do, you find your palate getting used to that flavor profile. So you end up paying $80 for something that you used to pay $20 for, and the flavors are basically the same. The quality hasn't dropped. It's probably pretty much maintained, if nothing else. And so really I believe that this has much more to do with your palate than really what these guys are doing, because they really stay within the same realm. They pick in the similar yields. Obviously vintage will change it, but like you said, California has had great years. So there's a lot going on here. But the real answer is, believe it or not, I really think this reflects more on your palate than anything else. The Bear says, Gary, what other specific liquors do you enjoy besides wine and champagne? I know this is a wine blog, but you cannot drink wine all the time. The Bear, great question. I don't drink anything else. I've probably had 10 cases of beer in my entire life combined, if that. And most of those have been Corona on spring breaks when I was in college. I hate liquor. I don't drink any liquor, which my Russian uncles would be really pissed if I said that right now, since they consume bottles of Grey Goose by themselves. So, to answer your question, on a non-alcoholic level, I drink an obscene amount of Coca-Cola with lemon and lime. That is my drink. I love Coke with lemon and lime. I've been drinking it since I was 6 years old. It's my thing. I love it. So, that leads me to the question of the day. What is your favorite drink besides wine? I want specific details. If it's a drink mix or a cocktail, let me know how you do it. I want to know every single person's specific favorite drink outside of wine. And don't say I only drink wine. Come on, you have to drink something else once in a while. Finally, the Jets lost to the Giants, I know. Can you stop emailing me? We'll see you next time on WLTV.